Have you ever felt like something huge is about to happen in your life, but you just can't explain it? It's like an unshakable feeling deep inside. You don't know how. You don't know when. But you just know something big is coming. But then, life starts getting harder. Suddenly, nothing makes sense anymore. The people you thought would be there for you, they start disappearing. The plans you were so sure about, they start falling apart. And worst of all, you start questioning everything. Sound familiar? Now, what if I told you that all of this isn't just random? What if I told you that Allah is preparing you for something incredible? But before He gives it to you, He sends clear signs. The problem? Most people miss these signs. And when you miss the signs, you risk missing the blessing. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the undeniable signs that Allah is about to bless you with something extraordinary. And by the time you finish watching, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to prepare for it. But before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like right before a major breakthrough, everything in your life just starts falling apart? Maybe you lost a job. Maybe your closest friends distanced themselves. Maybe you started questioning yourself in ways you never have before. Drop a yes in the comments if you've ever gone through something like this. I want to see how many of you are experiencing this right now. And if you're still watching, that's already a sign. A sign that this message is meant for you. All right, let's begin. But before I reveal the first sign, I need you to do one thing. Take a deep breath. Because what you're about to hear might change the way you see everything. Now, let's talk about something no one likes to hear. Before Allah grants you something extraordinary, He will test you. This is not just a theory. It's a pattern we see throughout history. Think about the greatest prophets: Adam, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, Muhammad, peace be upon them all. Every single one of them faced immense trials before their greatest victories. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, endured years of hardship before the conquest of Makkah. He lost loved ones, was rejected by his own people, endured hunger, war, and betrayal. Yet through it all, Allah was preparing him for something greater. And now, here's where it gets personal. The first sign: life suddenly becomes harder. If your life has suddenly become more difficult than ever, don't panic. That's actually a sign. When Allah is about to give you something massive, He doesn't just hand it to you. He strengthens you first. And how does He do that? By putting you through situations that test your patience, test your faith, and test your ability to trust Him, even when nothing makes sense. This means you may start facing unexpected financial struggles, loss of friendships or relationships, delays in your goals and dreams, inner emotional turmoil. It's as if everything you once depended on is suddenly shaking. And that's because Allah doesn't just... And all you have to do is trust Allah a little longer. He prepares the blessing for you, but first, He prepares you for the blessing. But here's something most people don't realize. Most people assume that when Allah is blessing them, life will become easier. But in reality, sometimes the storm gets worse right before it ends. Think about this. When Musa, peace be upon him, led the Israelites out of Egypt, Allah split the Red Sea for them. A miracle. But before that miracle happened, what came first? Fear, doubt, desperation. They were trapped. Pharaoh's army behind them. The sea in front of them. It looked impossible. And then, Allah made a way. Now, imagine if they had given up right before the sea split. What if you are standing right at the edge of your own breakthrough? The second sign. People start walking away. Have you ever noticed that right before something big happens in your life, people start acting different? Friends who used to support you suddenly distance themselves. Family members who used to encourage you now question your choices. People who were once in your corner, gone. It feels like Allah is removing people from your life. And guess what? He is. Because not everyone is meant to go where Allah is taking you. Some people are only part of your journey, not your destination. And when Allah removes them, it's not to hurt you, it's to protect you. Why does this happen right before a blessing? Imagine this. You're holding on to a handful of sand. You think that's all there is. But Allah is saying, let go. I have something better. Yet you refuse. You hold on. You don't want to lose what's in your hands. But here's the thing. Allah cannot give you what's next if your hands are still full of what's not meant for you. Some blessings can't enter your life until certain people exit. It's like trying to fit too many people into an elevator. Some folks have to get off before you can reach the top floor. The third sign. Your plans start falling apart. You made plans. You had everything figured out. Then suddenly, nothing is working. The job you thought was guaranteed, you didn't get it. The business you thought would take off, struggling. The relationship you thought was the one, over. You're left wondering, Ya Allah, what is happening? Let me tell you what's happening. Allah is redirecting you, and here's the most powerful part. Rejection is often divine protection. When something doesn't work out, it's not because Allah is depriving you. It's because He's protecting you from something you can't see yet. What if the job you wanted would have made you miserable? What if the relationship you were chasing would have broken you? What if the delay you're frustrated about is actually Allah's way of saving you from something worse? Think about that. Do you remember the story of Khidr and Musa, peace be upon them? When Khidr damaged the boat of the poor fisherman, Musa, peace be upon him, questioned him. But what was revealed later? If the boat had remained perfect, it would have been seized by a tyrant king. The damage wasn't a punishment. It was protection. Now, what if the things that feel like damage in your life are actually Allah's protection? Everything you're going through right now is either a test to strengthen you, a lesson to prepare you, or a redirection to something better. The worst thing you could do? Give up too soon. And speaking of giving up, what if I told you that right before Allah grants you a blessing, you might feel like quitting altogether? Sounds strange, right? Well, that's exactly what we're about to uncover in the next part of this video. Stay with me, because this next sign is one most people don't even recognize. Let's break it down step by step. Here are the undeniable signs that Allah is about to grant you something huge. Sign number 1, a purge of people and attachments, ever. Notice that right before something great happens, people start falling out of your life. That friend who suddenly stops calling, that relationship that ends unexpectedly, that job you thought was secure, suddenly gone. At first, it feels like a punishment, like life is pulling things away from you for no reason. But listen carefully. Allah is making room. Some blessings cannot enter your life until certain people exit. Not everyone is meant to go where Allah is taking you. A delay is not a denial. Sometimes Allah is saying, "Not yet, because I have something even better." Think about Prophet Musa, peace be upon him. When he fled Egypt, he had nothing. He lost his home, his status, his people. He was a fugitive. But what was actually happening? It's like trying to fit too many people into an elevator. Some folks have to get off before you can reach the top floor. And here's something even deeper. Sometimes Allah removes people from your life because their presence was blocking your blessing. Let that sink in. Some people carry energy, negativity, distractions that would interfere with what Allah has planned for you. So, if you've been losing people lately, don't chase them. Trust the process, because Allah never removes without replacing. Sign number 2. Unexpected delays and rejections. Now here's one that confuses everyone at first. You face rejections where you expected success. Ever applied for a job you knew you were qualified for, but didn't get it? Ever prayed for something so intensely, but it still hasn't happened? Ever felt like every door you knock on is slamming in your face? Listen to me carefully. Allah was preparing him. If Allah had granted him what he wanted instantly, he wouldn't have been ready to face Pharaoh. His delay was actually his preparation. And right now, your delay is preparing you. Now here's the real test. Most people, when faced with delays, start questioning Allah. Why me? Why is my life so difficult? Why is everyone else getting blessed, but I'm still waiting? But here's what they don't realize. The longer the wait, the greater the reward. And if you can just hold on, if you can just trust that Allah's timing is always perfect, then one day you'll look back and say, Ya Allah, thank you for not giving me what I asked for, because what you gave me instead was so much better. Sign number 3. A sudden feeling of exhaustion and wanting to quit. Here's something strange. Right before Allah blesses you, you might feel like quitting. It won't make sense at first. You'll feel mentally drained, emotionally exhausted, unmotivated. Even though you were so excited before, it's like everything is just too much. And suddenly, you start thinking, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just give up. Maybe Allah has forgotten about me. But do you know what's really happening? You're at the final stretch of your test. Think about a runner in a marathon. The last mile is the hardest. Your legs are burning. Your lungs are on fire. Your mind is screaming at you to stop. But that's also the moment you're closest to the finish line. And if you push through, victory is yours. Now, if you think this sign was powerful, wait until you hear the next one. Sign number 4, a season of isolation. Now here's where things get deep. You've gone through the tests, you've seen the signs, and now you're standing on the edge of something life-changing. But before Allah gives you something big, He often does something that confuses most people. He may pull you into a season of solitude. You may start feeling disconnected from certain people, less interested in socializing, a stronger pull toward introspection and self-improvement. But don't mistake this for loneliness. This isn't a punishment, it's training. Think about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Before receiving revelation, he spent time in the cave of Hira, away from distractions, away from people. Why? Because isolation is where clarity is born. When Allah pulls you into solitude, it's because He wants you to hear Him more clearly. Think of a seed buried underground. It looks like nothing is happening. It's alone, hidden, silent. But in reality, it's growing roots. And when the time is right, it breaks through the soil and flourishes. You are that seed. Allah is rooting you before He reveals you. So if you're in a season of isolation, don't fight it. Lean into it, because something big is coming. Sign number 5. A sudden sense of peace. Now, here's the final and most powerful sign. Right before a major breakthrough, something strange happens. Even if life is chaotic. Even if things still don't make sense. Even if the test isn't over yet. You feel a deep, unshakable calm. It's as if your soul knows something is about to change. This isn't just optimism. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is Allah letting you know. The storm is over. Your blessing is near. And the moment you feel this, that's when you know. Allah is about to open a door that no one can close. Most people think the breakthrough comes when the struggle ends. But the truth? The breakthrough comes the moment you choose to trust Allah completely, before the blessing even arrives. What to do next? Preparing for the blessing. Now, in this final part of the video, we're going to talk about something crucial. Recognizing the signs isn't enough. You need to know how to respond. Because blessings don't just fall into your lap. You have to be ready for them. You have to position yourself. If you've been feeling the signs we talked about, your blessing is already on the way. But what you do next will determine how you receive it. 1. Increase your dua. Keep asking, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Listen to me carefully. Your dua is never wasted, even when you don't see results, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Allah is listening. And here's a secret most people don't know. Sometimes Allah delays your blessing because He loves hearing your voice in dua. Think about that. Would you stop asking if you knew your blessing was already written for you? The answer is no. So don't stop now. Even when the road feels long, even when doubt creeps in, keep making dua. Because the moment you stop asking, you might be just one prayer away from your breakthrough. 2. Trust the delay. If it hasn't arrived yet, it means Allah is perfecting it. Let's be real, waiting is hard. But remember this, a delayed blessing is often a multiplied blessing. If it hasn't come yet, it's because Allah is perfecting it. Allah is preparing you. Allah is protecting you from receiving it too soon. Think of it like this. If you put raw dough into an oven and take it out too early, it's not ready. But if you let it bake fully, if you allow the process to finish, you get something perfect. Your blessing is in the oven right now. The oven right now, don't take it out too soon. Trust the delay, because when it finally comes, it will be exactly what you need, at exactly the right time. Prepare for the blessing. Align yourself, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Now here's a question most people don't ask themselves. If Allah gave you the blessing you're asking for today, would you be ready for it? Let's be honest. If you're asking for financial success, have you built the discipline to handle money wisely? If you're asking for marriage, have you worked on your patience and character? If you're asking for a leadership role, have you strengthened your trust in Allah? Because Allah doesn't just give blessings, He gives responsibilities. And if you're not ready, the blessing can feel like a burden. So while you wait, strengthen your faith. Work on your habits. Let go of what's holding you back. Because when Allah opens the door for you, you don't want to step in unprepared. Let's make this interactive. If you've experienced any of these signs, drop a Subhanallah in the comments. I want to see how many of you are feeling this shift in your life right now. And if this video helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Because you never know. This might be the exact message they need today. Remember, your breakthrough is closer than you think. Assalamu alaikum.